Hey, who wouldn't like to have their very own custom home right here in Missouri, everybody? We've got an expert been doing this for 25 years. Stay tuned. We'll be back here in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody, to Your Little Castle Show. We really enjoy getting to highlight those leaders who are impacting our community. And I have Dawn do some research. I had Dawn as my assistant. She's been working with me for 4 years now, and she really does a great job of evaluating those types of businesses we want to highlight. We will give everybody an ear to at least talk to us, and then we decide who it is doing a great job. And boy, you guys really stand out. You're doing some great stuff.
Thank you.
And it's great to see that. With that, welcome to the studio here, Chris Gilman. He's the owner and founder of MissouriBarnBuilders.com. And look at that great looking website. I know that website structure and design from the great marketing automation systems that are out there, and the web development companies that do a great job. Boy, you guys are really on the ball there. With that, I want to go back to the first half hour. Went so fast, we didn't get to cover everything we like to cover because Chris was giving us some great information. I don't ever cut anybody off until we get right up to the end there. And we're going to run out of time. But with that, what are some of the certifications and licensings and accolades that you guys have achieved, or the lack thereof, and so that for people to understand that you got to be wary, because just anybody chucking a truck can start off and start building homes.
Oh yeah.
You don't know what they're doing.
Primarily, we talk about lagoon systems and so forth, and with Department of Natural Resources, you got to make sure you're all in compliance with that. And that is required, and one of my staff members, a company is not allowed to have that license. So we sent one of my guys over to get certified, and we have that ability to do lagoons and so forth. We also offer the soil test. If you need a soil test to make sure that's good. One of the things I've found over the years is we make sure that we can build on your good land. You got good, Missouri's known for a lot of clay. We'll make sure the clay's there, not a lot of topsoil and river bottom and so forth. I've had some horror stories where I had to come in and we had to move a lot of topsoil. Great for farmers, not necessarily good for building houses on. So that type of stuff we do. Dirt work, surveying, we gotta make sure that we got that type of stuff, equipment to go look and see, well, how much work we're gonna have to move, where's the utilities at, and so forth. So we meet a lot of guys. Sometimes we work with engineers if necessary. And certain counties require certain requirements, architect or engineers, based on the size of the home and how tall it's going to be.
Well said. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this. It's getting the right surveys and all the power and resources, water, electric, all important things. And if chucking a truck just wakes up and says he can build your house, you better make sure you can put those things there. It might end up costing you quite a bit more. Tell me, what are some of the benefits that you have of working with you as a small business owner? You've got a well-run machine here, but what are some of the
flexibility? We have a little flexibility. I'm working with a guy now who has to be out of a certain area. Now this is a barn, but he's got or a shop really. His current shop, Ameren come in and offered him a lot more money than he couldn't pass up with all these data centers and solar panels. So he made a decision to sell, but he's got to get his stuff out. So he's got a place to put it. So I am working with him now. We're going to have it up in time so he can get moved and Ameren can move in and do their thing. But flexibility is our biggest one. Communication, I do take pride in that. If you're big company can do that too if they're designed well. But you're not a number with us, obviously. The smaller you are, the more important you are to us, and so forth. But I like to give that personal attention that you don't have necessarily with a large company. All my people, I get a lot of compliments about, which is good for me because that's kind of the mentality of the feeling of what customer experience is really important to us. You hear a lot of horror stories about husbands and wives, or I'll never build a house again type thing. Well, I don't want that with us. And not that I don't want you to never build a house. You're going to build your dream house, your forever home. But I want them to have a good experience about that. I think a lot of that comes in the play of getting that communication out at the beginning before we get into a process where now it's costing you money and we're dealing with a problem. Because once it gets started, that's when the clock ticks on interest or whatever it is you're investing.
Yeah, you got deadlines to get these things done. But I like the fact that you see this, and how many times have we had a big corporation, and I won't name any companies, but let's just say a cell phone. We all know that. And if you've got a problem, you got to call into the support. They take it up to the next level. Who takes it next to the manager? Who takes it up, and by the time they don't even ever really take it too seriously. Your case, they want to talk to the owner, the boss. One click, one phone call, one text away, right?
That's ability. That is, yes, I'm always available. The other, I say that unless I'm here and doing an interview. Empowerment's good too. I believe in empowerment. I want my people to be empowered so they don't have to go, well, I got to go ask Chris. They know the limitations on what I'm going to do, take care of clients. And that's what's important. Before I did this, I was a CEO and president of, not CEO, excuse me, president of a printing company.
Okay.
And I empowered our customer service team to take care of it and don't have to worry about it because clients want to know right then. If it's important to them, they want an answer. And make it happen. It's important. So.
Well said. Yes. So critical these days, especially when you're building a home. You want to
Yeah.
make sure that these things are taken care of. Well, tell me the process. Somebody wants to hire you. Obviously, it's pretty straightforward. Get a hold of you directly. Go to the website, fill out the form.
Yeah,
I'll
go to the
put this up on
website. There'll be an option to get a quote. And I say quote, it's for budgeting purposes. Get you an idea of what you want, things that you don't necessarily think about, driveways, the water we talked about, the size of the house, what kind of appliances you want. There's all kinds of different levels of appliances, trims and fittings and so forth. But go in there, get that budget number. You'll have an opportunity to set up an appointment with me, which is free. We'll have a consultation about what you have and go through that. There's also opportunity, if you don't like that budget number, to retake it and get a better number. Well, Chris, I can't afford that 3,000 square foot home. Well, go back in, change it to 2,000, see where that gets you, type of thing. But remember always that no matter the size of the home, the other expenses like the driveways, the utilities, and so forth, well, that's a giving cost no matter what you do. So
Right.
those are things to think about. I got a lot of clients that are looking now for land, and they call me and give me ideas, or what do you think, and where do you look at, and will you come look at this? And sometimes I do, or I best yet with technology, we'll just look on Google. It's like, well, show it to me. We can look at it and go for. I work with a surveyor group that can actually take a piece of property if you're interested in spec houses, doing investment properties. I was asked the other day, well, I want smaller acreage. Well, smaller acreage is pretty hard to find sometimes in certain areas. So what if I bought a bigger area, kept what I want, and then sold the other and did an investment type thing? That's an option too.
Right. Okay.
And those are things we do. But go to the website, fill out the information, give you an opportunity to set up a time, then we can go from there.
Yeah, you've got all the information out here, including the blog, and any questions that anybody might have. But for them to just get a hold of you, just get started. They're right there on the front of the page. Fill out the form, and you got a chat button here too. So anyway, if people want to get started with you, and then it's a pretty quick process from there. You can have how quickly can you have somebody? You've got essentially a proposal to them after they've met with you.
Typically 30 days. It's a lot to get it going, but we want to make sure all the stuff's asked before we go out to our subs and get those types of prices and so forth. We want to have a good idea, because if I'm going to give you a fixed price, then we want to make sure we do our due diligence. So about 30 days we guarantee. Once you've approved it, you're going to have the price within 3 weeks.
Wow. Okay. There you have it, everybody. Imagine getting a house all planned out in 3 weeks to a month, and something you can start looking forward. How long does the average house take to construct then?
Well, if all I had to do was just build a house, it'd be about 3 months. But on average, we tell clients 6 to 9, depending on the size of the project.
Okay.
They can be bigger. Obviously, I build anywhere from $250,000 homes to $1.2 million homes. So it depends on what you're talking about and what we're doing and so forth. But
Okay.
if you find a contractor who's not busy, then you probably don't want them, because
Right.
the market right now is just amazing. So
This is the time and place. Yeah, get it done. Get a custom home. I've got a buddy who's looking for a home. I might have him get a hold of you
all right,
right now. 'Cause do you build a home down in the Sullivan area?
is that south?
Yeah, out Highway 44.
No, a little further south I go. But we do serve 12 counties
Okay.
right now, and my goal is to be statewide. But that's what we handle right now. And my boys, the current crews only travel about an hour and a half from our home.
Okay.
And then we expand to other communities. We talk about going to other Amish communities and offering the same type of service.
Right.
Be their marketing group and provide the driving and the tools. And we're expanding. But right now it's just 12.
Okay. This is my favorite question. What's the biggest mistake the average homeowner makes when they're trying to build a new home?
Not planning, and that's a home run, I mean, every time.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, the husband and wife not agreeing.
Okay.
They need to agree, and sometimes we're the facilitators of that agreement,
Right.
or sometimes they just need to talk before they come to us. It's like, what do we want to spend? What do you have in mind? How many bedrooms? How many baths? And so forth. And going to that budget website that I have, it'll help you give an idea of what we can afford, because that's important. Even when I did a lot of spec houses and I was getting first-time homeowners coming in, I'd help them walk through that type of stuff and explaining how it all works, because a lot of people have never done this before. I get that a lot. I've never done one before. I always just went and bought a house. This is a custom home. How does that work? I love helping people with that. Financing. Where do I start?
Yeah. Okay.
That's a big one.
They get a traditional mortgage for this, I would assume.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But with a new construction, you have a construction loan.
Right. Okay.
And then you go into a mortgage, and I explain all that because they don't understand how that works.
Okay.
One of the things one of the biggest things I've helped people with is my dad was in banking for 20 years. My mom was a real estate agent for probably a little bit more than that. And so I've got a lot of background there. And I set up I helped the client. I said, okay, here, go talk to Joe at the bank. Okay. And they called me and said, I can't get a loan. I said, what do you mean you can't get a loan? Well, no. And I knew there was some communication. There was somewhere they didn't understand what was going on. So I tell you what, let me call Joe, give him the permission, talk to me. And I had a loan from that afternoon. It was more of a communication, not understanding what's going on.
Okay.
And I've actually went into the banks with clients because they don't understand the questions. I have a tendency to oversimplify things so that you can understand. I know what they're talking about.
Right.
It's not always the banker, it's the government. And the government has so many rules that the banker has to cover themselves so they don't get in trouble too. So.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. And something important to understand. Residential, commercial, all residential, right?
Residential. I have dabbled in commercial before, but that is not our cup of tea. I found it's best to just stay in your lane and take care of, do the thing you do well, and do it right.
Cool. What do you like about the regions that you service? You said you're up to 12 counties now.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about what you like about where you serve.
I love being able to go out in the community. Most of our stuff's outside of the city limits, in the rural communities, because that's usually if you want a barn dominium or even a beautiful dream home, that's their idea. And I get to see a lot of countryside that you wouldn't necessarily see in town. And that's the big one. I'm amazed sometimes where they find these little nooks and crannies, or they inherited a farm from grandma and grandpa, and now they're going to build a second home. I do a lot of second home stuff,
Okay.
especially with coming out of St. Louis and coming over there. I want to be close to the lake. I want to be close to the lake's really the big one. Be close to a river. I do a lot of riverside stuff. And I'm not talking about just Missouri or Mississippi. I'm talking about smaller rivers that we have little residential places.
Right. Okay.
A lot of second home, what do they call it, the weekend homes.
Weekend home.
We
yeah.
do a lot of weekend
Vacation
homes.
home. Yeah.
Vacation homes. A lot of stuff like that.
Right.
Those are always fun because those don't always have the traditional home stuff. They have like extra stuff that like, well, where am I going to park my side-by-side or my boat or
Right.
the RV. Yeah, those are the kind of fun ones.
The fun garage. All
Yeah.
those things. Tell me a time though when you've been in a situation where you really had to help somebody, kind of go out of your way to make a difference.
Well, I
for
mentioned
somebody.
the one about the financing. Explaining that was the big ones. We ran into a time where I went and there was like, oh, I can't. We have a problem building. Where are we going to put this site at? And I go out and we look at it, and I did one, and they come back and I looked at it, and my excavator said this is what's going to cost. And I said, what did they tell you they want to build it at? I said, let me go out there and look at it on site. That's why I do on-site visits now.
Yeah.
I said, no, we don't want to build here. And I explained to them why. Really, most people just want to know why. And once they understand the parameters, and
Right.
I mean, we can do anything for any money, but sometimes that's
Right.
a limitation, obviously. So we find the best location, and it's like, here's where you need to build, and here's why. Or turn your house this way. Have you thought about this and thought about that? You do a lot of houses, talk to a lot of people about custom homes and why you come up with a lot of ideas that they wouldn't necessarily have themselves. And that's been a real advantage that think about this and think about that. Bathrooms. I love talking about bathrooms because that's a big one. The kitchen and the bathrooms are what the women are wanting.
Right. Yeah.
The men are worried about their man caves or their shops and so forth. We get to talk about those too, but the ladies like to make a lot of decisions and talk about what you need and what you want. So we do a lot of that type of stuff. The software I use is awesome stuff. We can do floor plans and walk you through the house before we even get started, which didn't happen back in the day.
Yeah, take a virtual tour.
Yeah, take it to a virtual tour, see what you want and so forth.
Oh, amazing, cool. Tell me a time when you had a hurdle within the business and you're like, okay, how are we going to handle this? I guess you've had to accommodate some of the Amish. What are some of the other things that you've learned to just, you're going to find a way, right?
Accommodate Amish. They had their weddings. They're big about
Right.
weddings, and I accommodate that. Schedule. We had to deal with rain. And this has been one of the wettest in our area, the wettest in 140 years. Wettest June, July. It's amazing. Now, it's good for crops and good for the water table, but we've been working around a lot of rain. So it's muddy, so we work around that type of stuff. Obstacles, I try to eliminate those. And I'm not saying it's not impossible, and it's always how you deal with the problem that makes you different as a company. But that's why we do so much planning in advance. Because I don't like the surprises, because I'm giving you a price that I'm guaranteeing.
Yeah.
And we try to work out through all those in advance. And that's why the site visits are important. I actually go out and talk to my subs and show them the stuff too, because it's important for them to see it, especially on the dirt work side. There's other companies like HVAC and electric and stuff doesn't necessarily need the site visits, but they're going to ask me two questions like, well, okay, if I got to bring electric in, how far is the meter from the house? Those expenses and so forth. So we plan all that in advance, and I try to get those done so there's no guesswork, and that's really the key.
There you have it, everybody. An expert building homes in our community here in Missouri. Just really exciting work you get to do. Everybody likes. Whenever I moved to my new home, I built 2 homes. It's a real exciting time. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of excitement, but once you get that place built, it's your dream home, and you could customize something for somebody to give them exactly what they want.
Absolutely. Very
cool. With that, some more fun in our community. My buddy Nino. We love seeing Nino down at the Cardinals games, and he's an inspiration to everybody. And a little more about what we do in the community. We'll be back here in just a minute. Stay tuned, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show.
Hey everybody, guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves baseball. Hey, all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Nino, how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dan, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Bush. You know, now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. You know, it's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rathwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rathwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goal, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up.
So we're hearing all the time now why people need to be on our show, and it's pretty obvious. These days, the stats are proven. If you're going to get people's attention, you've got to get them with video. Google loves video. YouTube, obviously, is where you put your videos, and it's just a no-brainer. The problem is, until we kind of put together this whole format, there's no other way to get this kind of quality for the cost we put together. Because I'm a computer nerd, because I figured out how to automate, systematize. My buddy Paul worked for ABC. He's been on the show. He's been a host here. He's been KMOX. He's got his own shows there. He said, Carter, you're doing the job of 13 people. And he said, Carter, who does your graphics? 14 people. We've systematized this. Mom and Dad made me go to computer classes just in case the professional baseball career didn't work out. And so we started off doing one show, then 2 shows, then 3 shows, and then we had to jump to 5 shows a week just to fill the demand, because here you get a professional video that looks dynamite, that'll let your business really showcase what they do, and you don't have to spend $10, $15, $20, $30,000 to do it. So if you'd like to be on the show, get a hold of us and understand these stats. When you're on a show like this, when you put this on your website, you're going to decrease your bounce rate by 34%. You're going to increase your close rate, your conversion rate, by up to 80%. We have clients tell us they get 25% more closed deals because of the show. They track this. They can speak to that. And you're going to just get an overall boom for your business. You've got to do video. If you have clients, we did an interview with them 2020. It's 2026. They have made over $360,000 by using our video. They came back to do it again. So get a hold of us. Jump on here. Go to bigleagues.com. That's BIGG leagues.com. Or call us or text us right there, the phone number you see there. And we look forward to having you on our show. Stay tuned. Giddy up.
So there you have it, everybody. We'd like to talk about how technology has impacted our world. Pick up our book here. We talk about Magnetize Your Media. If you are interested in learning about how to get the most out of social media and the media these days, yours truly wrote the introduction to Sicardi, or the forward. Sicardi essentially wrote the introduction here, but it's the #1 seller on Amazon. See, there's that little badge we got right there. And it's just technology, media. I don't have to tell Chris about this. You understand why you've got websites and landing pages and funnel pages and social media.
Yep.
All those things are so valuable. But how has technology changed the way business, 25 years of doing this now, how has the technology changed the way you do this?
Pictures, for one thing. The cell phone in itself is just amazing. You can take pictures anywhere. And people like seeing pictures. They'll look at a picture all day long before they'll read a long copy. You know
That's
that.
so true.
So I do a lot of pictures. Tell my guys always take pictures, and we try to do that. AI, and you've heard a lot about it. And that's a plus or minus, however you want to look at it, but it's really handy, especially with estimating, getting a budget number, because it just take a while. You'll have in 5 minutes, if you go to my website, you'll get a price, and that's all AI. I've trained it. You got to train the AI if you know anything about it. Teach them what it is. Teach them about our customer, or our customer and our business. That does it automatically. What else we got? Social media. That's been a plus. Use it all the time. People get online and they'll find us and they'll message us. Instant messaging. That's amazing.
Right.
What else is technology-wise? Go ahead.
Getting cutting edge technology used to actually construct now versus what? Because you got like nail guns and you got laser pointers, but
batteries.
I like that you talked. Yeah, battery.
Everything's battery now.
Powered now.
I can get pretty much anything battery.
Okay.
Which is
drills and saws and everything.
Speed. You don't have to pack around cords. You don't have to pack around even the hammer stuff. I mean, everything's, and you get more done, more efficient.
Yeah.
I talk to my Amish guys and say, hey, I know that some things. What do you need to be more efficient? and I'll get that tool for them. And we're always looking at that type of stuff. I can remember actually when I started building houses, and we didn't have lasers,
Right.
and you'd look through the line and try to figure out how level stuff is through this little magnifying glass.
Right.
And it gets down now. It's to exact with the laser, and
Yes.
you know everything's more level than it ever used to be, or should be, for that matter.
Right. Well, that's the technology helps to make that all. I like we talked about earlier. If you missed that, virtual tours. You can let somebody see what their home.
Well, that's true.
That technology that wasn't around. How long ago did you add that?
I added it a couple years ago. I had a guy come in and join my team as we grow, you know, and they started taking me through the kitchens. It's like, this is awesome. I used to sell appliances back in college, and I love the kitchens. And you can see your cabinets and add and take away. What's that different color? What is this color? And I don't have it yet, but I do plan on it. You can take a picture of your land, and we can put that house, where your house, and what's going to look like, moving around. There's all types of things that technology.
Wow.
It's just amazing that it didn't happen. And I try to keep up on that. And so I like to talk about it. We have Amish craftsmanship, but current technology. And that's what we try to do.
There you go. Good combination there. What's the biggest mistake you see some of the other big home manufacturers make? We're not naming any names, of course, but I mean, there are a lot of cookie cutter stuff out there. But what do you see some of the biggest?
Not giving
hurdles?
options.
Okay. Yeah.
That's probably a bigger one. A lot of large, and I know why they do it. A lot of my competitors, and it makes sense to them. And it's not my business plan.
Yeah.
But they'll have certain homes that they build, and this is the only home you can get. They got like 2, 3, 4, 5 to pick from, and that's good. And the reason they do it is because they're more efficient at it. And while that's important, if a lot of custom homes don't like that, and if you've got a dream home or you're going to do it outside of the community on the land you want, those cookie cutters don't necessarily meet the criteria you're looking for. And so that's why I like custom. And I listen. That's another one. It's like nobody wants to listen to me. It's like, or they'll try to talk me out of something. And I won't try to talk you out of something. I'll explain why that might not work, or the expense associated with it, and you make your own decision. But that's a lot of things that people don't think about or take into consideration. It's like, you know, you're still a customer. We'd have the argument about if your customer's always right or not, but you're still the client. We take care of you. We want to make sure we get your end product.
Yeah, that's what leads me to my next question. What is the biggest question you have? What's the biggest objection people have? We got about a minute left here.
Price is really the biggest one. What can I afford? And I tell you what, it depends on your budget and what you have in mind. Sometimes you know what you're getting when you come in, and they want very specific things. And bring pictures with you. We love pictures. That's the internet. Talking about you can get stuff, you can see stuff, and show my guys as we plan. So this is what I'm looking for. That gives you so much help that we know what we're going to design into your home.
There you have it, everybody. An expert in our community, leading from the front and making it happen. Stay tuned, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show. We're on 5 times a week. Giddy up.